King of the Road is a tale for those who live fast. Directed by Tom Holland, written by J. Randall Johnson, shot by Gary Kibb, and music by Warren Zevon. This was an original script produced for the Two-Fisted Tales pilot, not based on any EC comic. With no ties to a previously published story, does King of the Road make it to the finish line? We open up on a stretch of road where a drag race commences. The devil-may-care Billy wins. Hopefully the race is all his opponent lost. The next morning, Carrie says goodbye to her father, Joe, as she's picked up for school. Billy is watching outside the house. Once Carrie is out of sight, he approaches Joe. Billy is looking for somebody and chats the old man up about cars.
Sure is a sweet car. This yours?
No, it's my daughter's. Mine's out in the front.
You're putting some muscle into this, sweetheart. I like that. Well, I best be hitting the road. I appreciate your time.
You still didn't tell me who you're looking for.
Oh, well, he's a real smart guy. Real fast guy. So they say.
What's his name?
Iceman.
Billy plays a little game of chicken with Joe, the Iceman, who does not look impressed. While on duty, Joe visits Carrie as she works at the drive-in. Wouldn't you know it, Billy pulls up right next to him. Joe tells Billy he has him confused with somebody else. Billy is convinced Joe is Iceman, the legendary drag racer, the king of the road.
You got some names and faces confused, cowboy. The name's Joe. Joe Garrett.
Now, you don't have to be modest with me, Iceman. I mean, you're a legend. I've been hearing stories about you for as long as I can remember. Never lost a race. 8 years straight. King of the road. Too bad it had to end the way it did.
Joe wants Billy to leave him alone. Billy wants a chance to race Iceman. Joe is called away. Billy notices Carrie and approaches her.
Hi.
Hi.
He has to take off.
That happens all the time. Why don't you take it?
Got your dad's eyes.
He shows her what life in the fast lane is like, and she is hooked. Billy drives Carrie home, and they will be seeing each other again tomorrow. Once Carrie is safe inside, Billy leaves a little surprise in Iceman's mailbox. The next day, Joe finds Billy's present, and we learn a little more about our good old sheriff's past. That night, Billy sees Carrie again, and afterwards makes a stop at Joe's post to taunt him. Speeding away, Billy hopes Joe will give in and give chase. Joe is in pursuit and calls in Billy's license plate number.
Suspect is one William H. Drake, lives in Tachford. Has a rap sheet as long as your arm. We got reckless driving, assault with a deadly weapon, and a manslaughter charge that didn't stick. Seems as though he's the hottest street racer they got down there. You need any backup, Garrett?
Joe declines backup. He wants Billy for himself. The chase continues until a truck sends Joe swerving, and Billy gets away. Joe arrives home in the morning to the sight of Billy's car parked on his lawn. Now aware that his daughter is involved, Joe does not hold back against Billy.
Hi, Joe.
Daddy, what are you doing?
Stay away from him, Carrie.
No, what are you hitting him for?
Nothing happened, sir. I just brought her home. That's all.
It's over him again.
Get out of my way, Carrie.
No.
Carrie, he's using you.
Come on, Joe. Catch it.
the handcuffs come out, and so does Billy's threat.
Starts to tell you how bad it's gonna be when Middleton finds out one of its finest has been dodging a manslaughter charge for 27 years, Joe. Huh? A single parent, too, Joe. If you get 5 to 10, who's gonna take care of Carrie?
The beat-up Billy leaves, and Carrie comes with him. Joe finds Billy's hideout and finally gives the young man the challenge he's been looking for.
You want to race, Billy? You name the place, I'll name the time.
All right. Airstrip outside of town.
Tomorrow night, midnight.
As for Carrie, Billy has her bound and gagged in his trunk, and he is not letting Joe do a thing about it, at least right now. If Joe wins the race, Carrie will go free. If he loses, Billy will kill her. Joe needs help. He seeks out an old friend, Matt the mechanic, who is delighted to see his pal once again. Matt takes Joe to the garage, and together they uncover Joe's former racer, kept in immaculate condition. Meanwhile, Billy is so confident he'll beat Iceman that he has Joe's name tattooed on his arm, next in line to all of his previous victims. It's midnight. Joe arrives at the airstrip, where Billy waits for him with Carrie. Billy is impressed with Joe's wheels, and allows a reunion between the father and daughter. Joe convinces Billy to give his gun to Carrie, who immediately turns it on her captor. But Joe has other plans.
No, Carrie. Get out in front of the cars. When we flash our brights, raise the gun and fire once in the air.
Daddy, were you crazy?
Do it.
As the two racers approach their cars, Joe has some last words for Billy.
You know, Billy, you win, you go free.
And if I lose?
I'll kill you.
I respect you, Joe.
Billy and Joe flash their lights. Carrie fires the gun, and the race is on. The two speed down the road. Suddenly, Joe stops, distracting Billy, who crashes into a bulldozer. Joe gets out to check on the bloody Billy, who admits defeat. Sort of.
Looks like you win, Iceman. Wrong.
Joe, reunited with his daughter, walks away from the flaming wreckage. 90% of this episode makes me want to say I loved it. I'm a sucker for the 50s greaserish aesthetic that Tom Holland paints over every scene and Gary Kibb helps bring to life. I love stories about someone who was the best at what they do come out of retirement. Ray Barry and Brad Pitt are both excellent as the two differing generations of hot rods. To top it all off, who wouldn't want their music done by Warren Zevon? All the parts of King of the Road seem to be in tip-top condition. Everything worked for me. Almost. King of the Road crashes and burns with its ending. The entire story built up to what I think we were all hoping would be an epic race between Billy and the former Iceman. And then the climax hits a bulldozer. Billy could have learned not to mess with the classics, but instead he's treated to an explosive, keep your eyes on the road PSA. Joe walks away with his daughter, car, and reputation all unscathed. His encounter with Billy might as well have never happened. King of the Road starts fast, doesn't look back, and then burns out in the end. This two-fisted tale isn't quite King.